doing a really good job. Give him a hand. He's doing a great job. It's one of my goals, and this may seem silly to you guys, but it's one of my goals when I play that song to kind of make him laugh. You know, he's a teenager, so he's kind of like stiff sometimes in front of some of the audiences that he gets to play with me. So I try to make him laugh. And I should have worn the shoes today. I should have worn the water shoes. And then I could have just gone like that during the middle of the song, and I guarantee you would have busted out laughing. So would you have, but that's okay. But before I play this next song, I want to talk to you here a little bit about something that I've been thinking about, and I get. Our ministry is very blessed. We get to go all over the country. We do about 280 concerts a year. Most of them are in churches. We get to do play some schools and some prisons and stuff, but most of them are in churches. And I travel around to all these different churches in this country and out of this country, and I get to these churches and I see pictures that they have hanging in the walls or stained glass or wherever. I see pictures of Christ when he was being crucified. I'm sorry, and hear me out before you judge me for this, but the pictures of Christ being crucified that churches are hanging in their buildings, I'm sorry, they're wrong. The pictures are all wrong. You know, churches and the artists and people have made those pictures of Christ on the cross. They've made them PG, and some of them are PG-13 maybe. You know, maybe you'll see a couple scratches on Christ's head on these pictures that you see in these churches. Maybe you'll see a couple scratches on Christ's head, or maybe out of his hands you'll see 1 or 2 drops of blood, or maybe out of his feet you'll see 1 or 2 drops of blood. Those are the PG-13 ones, you know. But the PG ones, there's just a dot on his hands and a dot on his feet, maybe 1 scratch on his forehead. That's not what it was at all. That's not what it was at all. The Bible says that he was unrecognizable as a man because he was beaten for you and for me. That is awesome. I have a friend of mine, and he called me up a couple months ago, and when he called me, he said, hey, can you give me an afternoon? I have this huge fence that I'm putting up in my backyard, and I need help with this fence. So I was thinking to myself, yeah, I mean, this guy never asked for help. I'll absolutely help him. First off, for him to ask me is really cool, but for obviously you don't know this guy, but for him to ask me, here's how I interpreted that, because this guy does not know the difference between a hammer and a screwdriver if you labeled it and handed it to him, okay? So I interpreted this phone call as, Chiz, will you come and do my fence for me as I stand there and watch you? So that was fine. So I had this, I said, yeah, I got, 2 weeks, I got this Friday off, let's plan on it, and we'll do this. I packed my tools the day before, I went to bed early, I got up, ate a good breakfast. I was bringing my A game. I was absolutely bringing my A game to this fence, and drove a couple minutes to get to his house, and when I pulled in, there was 5 other guys there. I went into the backyard, and his huge fence was 2 pieces of 4x8s that had to be put in, okay? So my A game, and when I got out of my truck, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to do this, I saw the other guys, and I saw how much fence needed to be done, and my A game immediately dropped to like an X, maybe a Y, maybe it was even my Z game that day, I don't know. I just didn't feel like I had to bring it anymore, and sure enough, we milked that project. Took most of the day to do, but didn't need to. But we were all there just giving our XYZ games, and we had a good time, but we were not bringing our A game. I think there was a lot of Christians, and I think there is a lot of people in this world that when they look at those images of Christ dying on the cross, those PG and those PG-13 images of Christ that they see in churches, I think they come to church, I think they deal with sin in their lives not in an A game kind of way, but in an XYZ kind of thing. You know, they see this picture of Christ hanging on the wall, they're like, I don't know, there's 1 or 2 drops of blood that Christ shed for me. Okay, so I need to get rid of this and this in my life. I'm fine. You know, I don't need to bring my A game to this forgiveness thing. I don't need to be bringing my A game to this relationship with Jesus Christ, because that picture is just shows that he didn't really suffer that much. But those pictures are wrong, because he was unrecognizable as a man when he was beaten and when he hung on that cross for you and I. I know this may sound a little bit weird to you guys, but I don't consider myself a trumpet player. I really don't. And that may seem weird to you guys, but I don't consider myself a trumpet player. I consider myself a messenger of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and those are my tools that I use to spread that message. This morning I come to you not just to play music, but this morning I come to you to encourage you. And I am not saying anything to you that I am not saying to myself. I think every single one of us that's in here, I think we need to bring our A game to our relationship with Jesus Christ. We need to clean up our lives in a way that we can be as close to him as we possibly can. You know, Christ didn't approach the cross, and Christ didn't approach his death on the cross playing his XYZ game. He came to the cross playing his A game. And we need to come to our lives and our relationship with Jesus Christ with our A game. You know, Christ could have stopped what he went through. He could have said a prayer or a couple words and had 10,000 angels come down and wipe out every soldier that had touched him or beaten him that day. But he didn't, because he loved every single one of us enough to go through all that pain and that suffering. That love that he has for us is awesome. And that's what this next song is all about. I hope you guys enjoyed. The song is called Amazing Love. So I have time to do one more song for you guys. And as Pastor said, as he was introducing me there, you guys have these comment cards here, and I would love to know. Hey, you're really handsome. If you want to put comments like that on there, your water shoes are an awesome idea. If I get negative water shoe comments, I'm expecting 1, 2, but I'm not expecting any more because you guys didn't raise your hands, okay? But we'd love to know. I had a great time with you guys this morning, and would love the opportunity to come back and play again for you guys sometime. Would that be all right with you guys? And I'm still not going to get you to say yes on the water shoes, am I? No, he says no. Okay. I can get you a pair. What size do you wear? So anyways, before the service started, I was talking with Pastor and I said, hey, what kind of music would be best to play for the congregation this morning? More traditional, big band stuff. What should I do? He suggested some heavy metal and rap, and not so sure that's going to work. But being that I only have time for one more song, what I want to do for you guys is end my time with you guys with one of my favorite hymns of all times, done in one of my favorite ways because it's with my son. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Chiz. Chase, thank you so very much for performing and for leading us in a little different style of worship, but one that's, I think, very effective. You know, as Chiz was mentioning, as he was talking about that aspect of bringing your A game, you know, I think it's very important for us time to think about, where am I spiritually? Am I bringing my A game to the Lord in terms of walking with Him and serving Him? So one of the things we like to do as we close our time is to challenge you to think about your relationship with Christ right now. Is it where it should be? And again, I know at times we all struggle. There are things that happen where in life it can cause us to kind of maybe drift a little bit from the Lord. Maybe we're not bringing our A game. Maybe it's not X, Y, Z, but it's not quite where it should be. And so we want to give you an opportunity to kind of think about that. Maybe the music has touched you. The Spirit of God works not only through words, but also through music. And many of us remembering some of these, the lyrics of these hymns, the Spirit can speak to us. So as you have those little cards, if you notice in your bulletin, we would like for you to do a couple things. Number one, we'd like for you to fill out your comments and put in there the things that you like, as Chiz mentioned, concerning his performance. Maybe some things you didn't. Just be gentle. And, you know, we all have feelings, and that's important. But we would like to get your honest comments to the presentation. Does it make sense? What he had to share, as well as if you've come to the point where maybe you sense the need to take and upgrade my walk with the Lord, so to speak. I need to bring my A game. Just put in there. Put in a little check like I would like to rededicate my life to the Lord. There isn't a space for that. You will notice on the cards there, it says, I accepted Christ as Savior. And one of the reasons for that is we are hoping to have Chiz come back where he will perform either out in that parking lot, maybe in the fall, or maybe in the church here. But an opportunity for us to bring people from the community, family members, neighbors, to hear him perform with the intent that they're going to hear a gospel presentation that will be clear and challenging. You know, Chiz is a great performer. There's some other things I know that he does that are very entertaining. It's amazing what he can do with that trumpet. And so it would be an outreach that we would not be embarrassed to invite co-workers, members of our family, neighbors to hear, to not only be entertained, which is important, then to hear a clear gospel presentation. He has one of the most effective evangelistic ministries of those who are doing evangelism out here in the United States and throughout the world. So it's an opportunity for us to take advantage. So be thinking about that. Secondly, as I mentioned, you fill out the little comment cards before you leave. We really appreciate that. That'll help him. If you, again, have come to the point where it's like, you know what, I really do need to either become a member of this church or I need to walk more closely with the Lord, we can put that as an indication on that little card as you leave. Put it in, we're going to have readers at all three doors. You just put it in a little basket there, and we would appreciate that. We'll get back in touch with you. Or if you would like some prayer right now, we're going to give you an opportunity to come forward, and as we close our time for prayer, and if this is the conducive area, we'll go back into the prayer room that we have in the back here. So anyway, let me close this in a word of prayer, and then we will let you guys speak. Father, we do thank you for the ministry that you've called Chiz and his family to. Lord, I know they've been at this for many years. I just pray that you would continue to use them, bless them. Father, will you just continue to open up doors for Chiz in the ministry to go through, where people will be exposed to the gospel message, the message that changes lives. Father, thank you that he has dedicated his life to doing that. As he mentioned, he doesn't consider himself a musician as much as a servant of yours that goes forth to communicate the greatest news that this world has ever heard. People can have new life in Christ. Father, if there's ever been a time in our nation's history or the history of the world that we need to hear this message, I think it's now. So continue to give his family a good time as they take a little vacation time. Help in terms of establishing just great memories refresh them and just keep them safe. And we just, again, are grateful for what they're doing. So, Lord, we also pray that if there's anyone here today that feels a need to rededicate their life to the Lord, or they just need some prayer for some need, that they will take that opportunity to come forward and to receive that time of encouragement as we lift those needs up to you. Lord, we love you. As Chiz mentioned, you were not just nicely beaten. It wasn't a sanitized kind of way. You were beaten beyond recognition. Why? Why would you do that for us? Well, you did it for us to show in part just how much you do for us. Help us to be grateful in that way, to reciprocate the feeling of love that we have, whether we feel from you, we would do that to others. And again, be with us as we go about our business today, throughout this week, and bring us back next week just excited because of the things that you're doing in our lives. We'll be sure to give you the praise and glory as we ask it all in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Thank you. If you, the ushers will go to the